What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Domuto. We back with another video today. We're watching UnrealEntGaming, and we're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super God of Destruction Gardox versus Beast Gohan finale. Oh, this is a 40. Damn, I didn't know this video that long. Alright. Yep. Well, sadly, we got some terrible news today that Akira Toriyama passed away, man. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for him, we would be watching, you know, fan-made Dragon Ball fiction, you know what I'm saying? And we haven't had the characters of Goku, Vegeta, you know, all the Dragon Ball, everything Dragon Ball. Even, we would probably have some of these anime we love today, you know what I'm saying, with this impact that he brought. So RIP, Akira Toriyama, and, man. Shoot, man, let's get into the video.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of Gardox being shown having to attempt to put Beast Gohan down, as with Beast Gohan now finally finding it within himself to use everything he can in channeling his power onto the surface, was when Gohan went on to respond, "I want you to understand one thing before I tear right into you, Destroyer, and that is for all of the damage that you've done, and for all of the pain that you've caused onto myself and all those whom I love, I want you to remember my face, Destroyer, because it'll be the last face that your eyes will ever have the chance to see from this day onward. For you should have ended my life when you had the chance, because this is where you messed up, and messed up bad, Gardox. And these stupid little games of yours, along with the tyranny that you tried putting us under, is over. And because you continue to push us into a corner with no way out," Gohan continues, "this is where you will find out firsthand on what it's like to be
he fucked around and found out."
With Gardox questioning, "To be driven right through, as in you? Do you honestly believe that you have what it takes as a mortal warrior to drive yourself through and defeat a god of destruction such as myself after taking this much damage? For you've got to be joking, as you are either delusional from the beating that you've taken, or you have simply lost your damn mind. And for you to honestly stand there and believe that you have what it takes to take much more of what you just did is ludicrous. And so I'm calling your bluff," as Pan went on to then shout, "No, thank goodness that you're okay, Papa. I knew that you had the power to continue. Oh, thank you for not giving up on me, Papa. And so now go and show Mr. Green over there on why you are my Papa and why you are the best," with Gohan responding, "No one, Destroyer, and I mean no one, ever threatens my family and lives to brag about the harm they've caused.
Yes, sir.
No one, God of Destruction. And so you wanted to see if my power was worthy of being compared to yours? Then go ahead and take a look and witness my full power and the very nature of who I am brought forth onto the surface." Gohan then went on to power up with rage by responding, "And so you wanted to see if mortals had what it took to match or surpass a god? Well, here it is, and so now prepare to be destroyed, Gardox." "Amazing," Piccolo then went on to suddenly chime in, "That a boy, Gohan. I knew that you had the power within you to match that Destroyer and put an end to his nightmare for good. And so just don't go and lose yourself in the process of trying to make him suffer like how he tried doing with us. And so now beat that runt at his own game so that way we could all go home," Piccolo continues. "You came a very long way since you first started, Gohan, and you are without a doubt one of Universe 7's brightest and most powerful warriors that's out there," Piccolo continues. "And so now go and show that Destroyer on what we're all about and why we mean business." But then it was suddenly now from out of nowhere, with Piccolo now being shown teleported near Angel, Vodka, and Pan, was when Piccolo went on to then question, "Oh, whoa, hey, what just happened?" with Pan having to shout, "Uncle Piccolo, Uncle Piccolo! Yay, you made it, you're okay! Oh, I was so worried for you out there, but you're okay." Pan went on to then lunge towards Piccolo by hugging him. "Thank you for coming all this way with Papa to help me. I don't know what I would have done without you. I missed you," with Piccolo responding, "Well, don't sweat it, kiddo. You know your dad and I would never let anything ever happen to you, and so I'm glad that you're all right and still in one piece, Pan. Thank you for never losing faith in us," Piccolo continues. "And so as long as your dad out there still has the power within his heart to keep on fighting, then we will never stop chasing you down until you're finally home where you belong, Pan. And so you can always count on us to be there for you when you need us the most. And so now hold my hand and sit tight. With Angel Vodka having to chime in, tell me something, Namekian. Were you able to also see what I had seen come from your ally during two very separate yet very specific occasions that happened to involve his power? Well, strangely, I did, Piccolo responds. Once during Gohan's final moments against Perfect Cell Max, and the other was just now before he went and powered up to face Lord Gardox. And so why is it that you ask? With Vodko responding, your friend appears to possess a far greater level of power to him than even he is able to actually realize.
That's Gohan.
And
of course it is.
Or
you know what I'm saying?
could prove to be rather problematic if he isn't able to control it, Vodko continues. And so I say this to also say that if Gohan were to use this very power as intended, then he will defeat Lord Gardox. However, I fear that before he even reaches such a point, Lord Gardox may catch on and want to erase Gohan on the fly if he is deemed to be a danger to Universe 15, and so I am only telling you now to be very cautious. Gardox! Gohan shouts, with Gardox having to suddenly respond,
Yeah, them dog.
But then, it was only just before Gardox even had the opportunity to finish his sentence was when Beast Gohan then went on to punch Gardox in the face by then shouting, Enough! This is for every stressful breath that you went and put my little daughter through after coming onto our world and taking her from me. And so now get back here right now, because you and I are not done. Isn't that right? Isn't that what you went and said, Destroyer? Well, come on then, with Gardox quickly responding, alright, now you've done it, Saiyan. Now you're starting to annoy me far more than what you were shown doing prior. And so now you want to do this the hard way now, do ya? Well, alright then. Now don't say that you didn't see this coming, except this time I won't stop blasting you until you are a pile of jello on the ground. But even then, despite with Gardox being shown having to use his puppet mallet in blasting Gohan several times over, with Gohan being shown dashing right through it, was when Piccolo went on to then chime back in. Amazing. I don't know where he gets it from, but if Gohan is able to keep this momentum going, then there's no way that this God of Destruction will be able to stop him. But I'm curious if tanking all of Lord Gardox's attacks like this will end up slowing him down in the long run if this keeps going, with Angel Vodko chiming in. Well, that all depends. You see, while it's undeniable that Lord Gardox possesses superior strength when compared to Gohan, there is an intangible quality to Gohan's spirit that's beginning to turn the tide in their battle, Vodko continues.
Yep, that's what Gohan do.
His courage, his heart, his unyielding determination, they are not just mere attributes of his, but they are weapons in their own right, capable of nullifying almost anything that stands in his way. And so thus this is a testament of Gohan's nature by proving on why he is the chosen candidate for this battle, and the best one for Lord Gardox at that. However, despite this being the case, if and when Lord Gardox decides to take matters a bit more seriously down there, is when you will only then begin to get a better idea on just how ruthless and just how dangerous Lord Gardox can truly be in a battle. But for Gohan's sake, and for the sake of the child and yourself, Namekian, let's just hope that this ends quickly so that way this can be done, with Piccolo responding, well, I don't think that Gohan will allow for this to go and reach that point, and especially if he knows that Lord Gardox is in a vulnerable position like the one that he is currently in now, and so I think he knows exactly what to do.
It is Gohan. Don't get too cocky there.
And so now go and make that little troll pay for what he went and put us all through, with Vodko continuing, well, actually, I wouldn't go and jump the gun just yet, for I think that Gohan has finally gotten Lord Gardox's attention. Alright, Saiyan, you want to go and play rough? Well, fine then, Gardox continues. Let's play rough, because now you are really starting to get under my skin, and I will not have you embarrass me like this, mortal. To which, as soon as Gohan and Gardox were then shown having to dash towards one another yet again, was when Gardox then went on to continue, mortals could never be allowed nor be given the opportunity to ever compete with the Destroyer's power, and that's where where your governing destroyer went wrong. Beerus allowed for his faith in you creatures to cloud what was most important among our kind, and that was preserving our status no matter the cause, to which Piccolo then went on to respond, "Oh darn, I was afraid of Lord Gardox going and turning this around on Gohan, but he can't give in no matter what that destroyer tries to do out there," with Angel Marco chiming back in, "Though the situation may appear tough, originally all Lord Gardox had wanted was someone to play with, given how he was always all alone here. But once he was able to catch wind of the power which some of Lord Beerus's mortals were housing, well, that was when his entire focus had shifted in wanting to rip that away from Lord Beerus's universe, just as simply going back at Lord Beerus over the comments that were made, with Piccolo responding, and to think that all of this was simply to spite Lord Beerus. Oh, it's another reason on why Gohan has to win." But even given the fact that with Gohan and Gardox now being shown
at it, they're going back and forth. I love it.
Shown punching Gohan in the stomach, was when Gardox then went on to continue, "I will say that you're good, far better than I expected for you to be, but you're going to have to be far better than what you are now if you wish to overthrow me, peasants. And to further put these efforts of yours to rest for good, why don't I go and show you on why you were never the one who was in control." To which, as soon as Gardox was now able to turn the tides against Gohan, by from that point them being shown having to kick Gohan in the stomach, was when Gardox then went on to continue, "And so why don't you back on up and watch as I show you on who is truly in control here, Saiyan. Yes, that's right. Try and single me
Better
out
you
now,
than
will
me."
you?
He gonna say it. He gonna say it. He gonna say it.
Gardox went back
He gonna
into
say
his
it in
bag
the
of
story.
tricks by then responding,
The chapter.
"You may have been useful to Beerus, but here you will know your place and come to understand that you are
pull out a
just
bag
my
of bullshit.
pawn. A silly little mortal man who is only best served as being my personal entertainment and nothing more. And so now let's see, where is it? Where did I go and put that thing? Where is it? Ah, yes, there we are now. And so this ought to stop you in your tracks, and so now watch. Watch as I go and twirl you around the way I want and rip you apart before I decide to destroy you. Or maybe I should just go and destroy you now, so that way I could be done with you." Gardox went on to freeze Gohan in place by responding, "Yes, decisions. What's wrong? Struggling to move again, are we? Well, you want to know what I think? I think we should go and end this battle with a bang, and that's by having you blast yourself into 1,000,000 pieces.
Oh, dang.
Now that ought to be a sight
break
to
out of that.
see. And so now let's just see if we can get you to channel your most powerful attack up there and go and aim that energy blast right towards your head." As a struggling Gohan then went on to respond, "Oh, he's going to try and channel my most powerful attack and have me redirected towards myself and having me take myself out? No,
That's some cruel
I
shit.
can't have him go and do that, especially since I'm all that's left and coming in between him and Pan. And so I've got to try and hurry and act fast before he could go and pull this off. Wait a second. Yes, I've got it. Since I can still move my arms, then this is my one and only chance to take advantage of him while I can. Oh, as if I'm going to give you the time of day to even try.
Not the solar flare.
And so you can guess again. Solar flare! God, just what in the world is this? How did I not know that the Saiyan was capable of using a blinding technique against me? I can't see a damn thing up there. And why does it feel as though he's putting his energy together for something while I can't see? Oh, just what are you planning on using on me from up there, Saiyan? Oh yes, hurry Gohan, Piccolo then went on to quickly shout. Now's your chance to blast that destroyer with everything you've got and put an end to this nightmare once and for all.
Gohan.
And so don't let this moment slip through your fingers. To which, as Gohan was then shown charging up for his Kamehameha, was when Gohan then went on to respond, "Not a chance. And given the opportunity that I have right now, I'm going to make sure that he doesn't have a chance in the world of escaping this one.
I love
this
it.
This is what you get, Destroyer. This is what you had coming. As Gardox then went on to quickly respond, how'd you like hell if you'll be given the chance to blast me with that? As I've seen all that I wanted to come to see from you, and so I'm done with it, mortal. Now watch as I crush your dreams right before your child's very own eyes, you peon. So no matter how powerful you think you are, you will never be strong enough to survive this. Hakai!
With the Hakai? Gohan, you got that.
No, Gohan, do not come in contact with that attack of his. He's going to try and erase you if you come in contact with that, Piccolo shouts. So you've got to get out of the way right now if you aren't able to blast right through it. As Vodka went on to then chime in, interesting, to which surprisingly enough, as Gardox's Hakai was then shown having to go right through Gohan, was when Vodka then went on to continue. Well, although I didn't think that
instant transmission?
Find an escape method if he wasn't planning on already blasting right through Lord Gardox.
Did he just instant transmission? Oh yeah, Gohan. Oh, Beast Gohan different.
Gardox's Hakai.
It's the best Gohan ever.
That's right. Now, what the? But how did you just do that? Gardox shockingly went on to then question. You knew, didn't you? You tricked me. To which, from out of nowhere, similar to that of his father, with Gohan now being shown having to teleport behind Gardox, was when Gohan then went on to continue. Looks like you aren't the only one here who has a few surprises up their sleeve, Destroyer. And so now face the consequences behind your actions, God of Destruction. This one here is for my little girl.
Yes, sir.
In which moments later, with Gohan's massive Kamehameha now being shown having to make contact with Gardox, was when Piccolo went on to then respond, what tremendous intensity. I haven't seen Gohan unleash this much power with this much force behind it since the early days of when Gohan had used all of the power that he had when he was a child to put an end to Perfect Cell after Goku was destroyed, but will it work? With Angel Vodka responding, I find it quite remarkable to see how mortal warriors such as this one are able to actually go the distance and achieve such grand levels of power, but even then there are still levels in between gods and mortals. But what do you think, Namekian? Do you think that Gohan has won? With Piccolo responding, well, I'm not sure on what the outcome is going to be, but I think he got him down there, yes. I think Gohan was actually able to do it, for Lord Gardox wasn't able to see and respond to Gohan's counter fast enough, and so I think he did it. Well, I would hate to rain on your parade so soon, Namekian Vodka responds, but not only is this battle far from over, but you might want to check besides you, with Piccolo asking, besides me? Why? What are you? Oh no, Pan, where's Pan? Don't tell me she... Oh, how I feared that he would go and try this on the boy, Vodka quickly responds, but this only just means that Lord Gardox isn't looking to lose, to which back down below, surprisingly enough behind the smoke, was when from out of nowhere as the debris began to settle down,
if he put Pan in front of the attack, that'd be fucking wild.
Well,
he ain't that.
I'll admit you almost had me there for a moment, Gohan, but I'm always 2 steps ahead no matter what the odds are that are stacked against me. But if you think that I'm all out of surprises, then you're in for a very rude awakening, because I still have a few more tricks up my sleeve that I'm sure you will just utterly die over. To which, shockingly enough, as Gardox was from there shown having to create a barrier and preventing himself from being hit by Gohan's Kamehameha wave, not only was Gardox shown still mobile and functional within the barrier, but now Gardox was also now holding on to Pan in his hand, as Gardox then went on to continue. Because truthfully, I wasn't expecting for things to reach such critical conditions during our battle, but in this game of power and destruction, it's not just about strength, but it's about leverage, Gardox continues. And as you can see with your very own eyes now, I am the one who wields the greater leverage in our battle, mortal. And what better leverage than that which you hold dearest, right, Saiyan?
That's wild.
So now, what exactly are you going to do? You wouldn't dare try and attack me after knowing your child would be placed in harm's way now, would you? Or are you truly that crazy and you'd be willing to risk her life, all in the name of besting me in battle and being granted your freedom? I wonder. What are you doing, Pan? How did you just... No, why? Why are you doing this? Gohan then went on to quickly freeze in place by shouting, don't you dare think about hurting her! It's a cold world that you and I live in, isn't it? But sometimes those who are the smartest tend to always survive the longest, mortal. But just you wait, because there's more. Oh, yes. And so just you wait. But in the meantime, are you ready to call it quits, Saiyan? With Gohan shouting, you let her go right now, or I swear on my life I'm going to tear your heart out, Destroyer! And so now let her go! I'm the one that you want, and so now leave her out of this right now! Now, it's better if you lower that tone of yours when you speak to me before I go and lower it for you, Gardox responds. But instead of putting you down for it, I would advise that you think about your daughter's life before you go and make empty threats by trying to go and want to take mine, Saiyan. And so now surrender yourself over to me and pledge your life in exchange for hers, or I will see to it that her existence ends right before your very own eyes, friend or not. So now what's it going to be, Gardox questions? A life for a life, eh? Fair trade? Oh, the hell with this! Piccolo then went on to quickly shout by transforming into his orange form and dashing on forward. Has that little bastard lost his mind or what? That's a child! No! Pan, hang on! But then, it was only just before Piccolo was able to insert himself down onto the battlefield when Angel Vodka went on to grab onto Piccolo by then responding, no, you will not. You will trust in my judgment and remain here with me and wait and see what will come out of this battle, Namekian. As this battle does not involve you, for it's between them to settle, but I want you to also look closer, Vodka continues. Do you see it? Do you see the change that is beginning to take place below? In which, similar to before, with Gohan's physical appearance now shown slowly changing upon Gohan now being shown powering up, was when Gohan then went on to shout, I will not let you hurt her, you monster!
Oh, snap.
Which suddenly from out of nowhere, with Pan now shown having to bite
down
on
Gardox's Pan definitely Goku's granddaughter.
Was when Gardox then went on to shout,
taking a bite out of crime.
What are you doing? She bit me. That little child actually bit me. I was too careless and too caught up within the moments, Pan went on to then shout upon Gardox being shown looking at his hand. But even then, Gohan was not having it, because with Gohan now shown dashing right towards Gardox's direction and having to then be shown punching Gardox in the face, was when Gohan then went on to shout, now you are mine, you're finished! Wait, I see it now, Piccolo then went on to quickly chime back in. There it is again, that weird-looking freaky form of Gohan's. Now I understand as to what you meant by what it was that you said, but will it last? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but it doesn't appear to be the case, Vodka responds. As it does, however, look as though it was enough to really go and do damage to Lord Gardox, but I do believe that something is about to change, with Piccolo responding, change? Change as in how? What are you able to see that I can't? What in the world was that just now? No, I can't risk this mortal going and doing what he just did against me again. And so this is my universe, Saiyan.
Shut up,
Gardox. To decide on what will happen
around
around here. Gardox went on to then spawn another goblin card by responding, I will need for you to go and stay close by. Vodka went on to then dash forward by grabbing onto Piccolo's shoulder, and do not attempt to leave my side until we are safely transported, Vodka continues. As although Lord Gardox had intended to use another one of his goblin cards to trick Gohan into sending him off into another world similar to the ones which you were both in just a little while ago, but with his card now unstable, Vodka went on to then surprisingly grab onto Pan by also holding onto Piccolo. There is no telling on where they are both about to go, and so we must not lose them while this continues. So now hold on, everyone, because this may end up proving to be a rough landing by the time we emerge right through and onto the other side of wherever we will be. To which all the while in the meantime, when then venturing back on over into Universe 7, in seeing as to how Beerus was now beginning to do sit-ups with Whis being shown having to oversee by counting this, was when Whis then went on to respond, my word, good, very good, Lord Beerus, for you have managed to crack 500 million sit-ups in record time, and so shall we go and do it again, with Beerus responding, yes, we'll continue until we've crossed well into 1 billion and resume our sparring training right after, if anything, Beerus continues, but just do make sure that you just keep on counting. And but then, it was only suddenly just then from out of nowhere, to both Whis and Beerus' surprise, from behind them as Beast Gohan and God of Destruction Gardox was shown having to emerge within their universe and battling, was when Beerus quickly went on to then chime back in, God, just what in the world was that just now? Wait a minute, hold on there for a second, Whis, surely that can't be, now could it? It is, isn't it? Well, judging based from the looks of things, Whis responds, your guess is as good as mine, Lord Beerus, as it only now appears as though Son Gohan and Universe 15's God of Destruction Gardox appear to be locked in a very intense battle, but why this is the case is truly a mystery, as I'm starting to wonder on how they even got here. To where the moment Beast Gohan was then shown having to mount control over Gardox, and from that point then being shown smashing down upon his face, was when Beerus then went on to continue, well, those two shouldn't be here, Whis, but now I can't help but wonder on why they are fighting either, and so now I'm confused. Well, it looks as though they're not alone here either, Whis continues, because Gohan's daughter Piccolo and my brother Vodkal are also here too, with Beerus having to then respond, alright, something's up and one of you better start explaining right now, as Vodkal then went on to then chime in, my apologies for the sudden arrival, Lord Beerus, as Lord Gardox had appeared to briefly lose control and redirect us back into this universe, but nevertheless, Lord Gardox had taken interest in Son Gohan, and well, here we are, with Orange Piccolo having to then respond, and since I couldn't help but overhear you ask about it, what Gohan is currently using—
I ain't gonna lie, Beerus. Too many people is coming to your world and taking your warriors. I ain't gonna cap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, you letting that slide too easy.
In battle is a new beast form that he went and unlocked recently on Earth, Piccolo says, but more on that a little later, Lord Beerus, and to make a very long story short, it was actually Lord Gardox who went and had pushed us all into reaching this very point, especially with Gohan, since Lord Gardox had wanted to pay you back over a few comments that you had made a very long time ago when Gardox and his universe were originally destroyed, with Beerus responding, ah, so that's what this is all about. Revenge, Gardox? But Gohan was not shown stopping, because it was only just as Beast Gohan was continuously and ruthlessly shown having to smash his way down in elbowing and punching Gardox over and over again, was when Gardox went on to stick his arm up by then responding, that's enough, you foolish creature! Get your disgusting, undeserving little filthy mortal hands off of me and just die, Saiyan Haka! But then, it was only just before Gardox even had the opportunity, and from there being shown erasing Gohan from existence, was when Beast Gohan had then proceeded in grabbing onto Gardox's arm and slamming it on down by proceeding to elbow Gardox in the face by then responding, oh no you don't, like hell if I'll just stand here and have you try and erase me before I went and made you pay for all of the pain that you have caused me and my family, Destroyer. You tried hurting her, you tried using my daughter as a shield against me. You were going to end her life. You were going to rip her away from me, you bastard. As you tried to burn my entire world down onto the ground, but you failed. And so now I'm going to go and burn yours down to the ground, Destroyer. What was it that you had said you held against Lord Beerus, Destroyer? Better him than me, right?
Oh, so Gohan flipped the line on him. I love it.
You than me. You were the one who wanted this, Destroyer. You were the one who kept pushing me more and more, and look where it's gotten you. Gohan then began to change by questioning, so now do something about it if you think that you can. Go on, do it. Try and use my daughter as a shield in your twisted game now, God of Destruction. Try and go and erase her now. Go on, do it. It hurts, doesn't it, Destroyer? It hurts, doesn't it? You did this. Gohan then went on to continuously elbow Gardox in the face, Whis. This is all your fault, and so I'm going to make sure that you never went and found me when you did. And to use my daughter as bait against me and to threaten her very existence is something that I will make sure that you suffer for. And so do you feel that? Do you, Destroyer?
Do you feel it, Mr. Crab? Yeah.
Hold on now, Whis. Are you seeing what I'm seeing take place with the Beast Saiyan 2? His energy appears to be spiking more and more, and he also appears to be changing a bit as well. And so what's going on? With Whis responding, why yes, I do, but if this continues to go the way that it does, then Gohan is going to end up beating Lord Gardox to death.
Damn.
As Pan went on to then rush on over towards Gohan by then shouting, No, please stop, Papa, you don't have to do this, that's enough, Papa. Papa, please look at me, this isn't you, this isn't what you should do. Pan went on to then continue, and I know that Mr. Green hasn't been the nicest to us, and I know that he caused us a lot of pain, but doing to him as he tried doing to us isn't going to change anything, Papa. And so please don't go through with this violence. You've always stood on what was right, Papa, and so please don't. And so I don't want you to hurt anyone or be hurt yourself, Papa, so please find it within your heart to forgive Mr. Green. Please, you beat him already, Papa. Pan went on to then grab onto Gohan by hugging him as Gohan then went on to come back to his senses. He made a really bad mistake, and I don't think that you should do this. You're not like him, and so please stop, and so that we can all go home. Pan, are you sure about this? Please don't cry, sweetie. I think you should listen to her, Gohan, because she's right. Piccolo went on to appear by tapping Gohan on the shoulder. Going the extra mile and ending Lord Gardox wouldn't be the way, especially if he's already defeated, Piccolo continues. Doing that won't bring us any closer to the peace that we've been fighting for this entire time, and so it'll only serve to drag you down to his level if you go and beat him to death, and so I think he's learned his lesson here. Now just let it go, Gohan. Your daughter is right. True strength lies in showing mercy to those who went and showed you none, especially when it's moments like these that count. As Gohan went on to then look back down by then responding, well, in that case, consider this game of yours, this 3 stages of hell challenge over, God of Destruction. Do you understand? You got what you asked for and wanted to see out of me, and so our score is settled. Understood? As Gardox then went on to look up by then responding, you got lucky, and you know it.
That nigga fuck you up, Gardox.
Fine then.
There's not no damn luck.
Get off of me, Saiyan, and I won't go and tell you again. Good, and so now consider this mercy, Destroyer. Now let this be a reminder to never come anywhere near my family, Gohan says, nor even think about ever putting any of them in harm's way ever again. Do you understand? As Pan went on to then also chime in, I really wish that things were different, Mr. Green, because I really did see you as a friend. But when you started to attack my Papa and Uncle Piccolo, that was when you hurt me as a friend and made me really sad. With Gardox responding, you really considered me as your actual friend? Okay, could someone go and tell me on just what the hell is going on around here and why in the world Goku's son is fighting a God of Destruction within my universe without my approval? And I also want to know on how Lord Gardox remained in my universe without my knowledge, Beerus continues, as well as telling me on just what the heck this beast form is that the boy is wielding. With Gohan then responding, I honestly never would have wanted for things to end like this, but you left us with no other choice, and so now let it be known that
still in his beast form too.
Have to be vindicated.
Like, damn, the fight over, Gohan.
You just have to
Gohan, the fight over. this nigga still in his beast form. Like that. Beer's right there. Beer's ain't gonna let you get hit again. Never mind. Beer's probably would. I ain't gonna cap. Just Gohan, the fight over.
Let it go. And those haunting words that had brought you so much pain throughout your time, Gohan continues, should be buried and forgotten about, and so now leave us all alone and go back home to where you belong, Lord Gardox. I'm done here. And although you were stronger than me, it was like you yourself had said that sometimes strength isn't the only thing that wins you the day.
True.
In which, as soon as Angel Vodka was then shown having to help Gardox up, was when Angel Vodka then went on to respond, come now, my lord. Lord. Let us uphold the end of your deal and take our business back within Universe 15, for it wouldn't be wise to try and continue to engage against the mortal while in such a vulnerable condition, with Gardox responding, No, now you wait right there, Saiyan. You will not turn your back on me and walk away without me having to address what it was that you just said. And so now stay right there, because I have a few things that I want to say to your face. And so now I'll admit that even though you were able to best me in battle, a feat that I deemed impossible for any mere mortal to achieve, you and I both know that it was because of that bizarre and strange surge of power that you channeled onto the surface that had resulted in your victory over me.
That's his power, though.
However, your choice to spare me despite every reason for vengeance is perplexing, to say the least. But my hatred for Beerus had blinded me from the truth in realizing that you were telling the truth this entire time, Gardox continues. And for what it was that you did, I just want you to know that without that power that you displayed, which was shown jumping in and out, you never would have beaten me, and deep down you know that you can't. But I do owe one of you an apology for dragging you into this when I should have kept you out of this entire time, and that person is you, little one, Gardox continues. My actions during our battle in leveraging you to gain the upper hand wasn't the right call to make, but I only did it because of how badly I wanted to destroy your father and get back at Beerus for the cold and hurtful words that he said about me, and so I allowed for my anger to get the better of me. And to be honest, Gardox went on to then bow towards Pan by responding,
okay, a little respectable, okay.
Has been a lonely one, devoid of the connections of what it ever means to have a real friend to play with, and so I am sorry for lying to you and trying to use you as a weapon against your father when I did. And so I hope that you may accept my apology and that maybe one day you and I could actually be friends, Gardox continues. And as for you, I offer you my hand in respect, Gardox went on to address Gohan by responding, as well as offering a truce between us, but I just want you to know that you and I will battle again. Okay. So you may have won the day, but I will be back for you and I will best you, even if that strange power that you showcased were to return, because I will come back and I will come back stronger than I am now, and so you have my respect, with Gohan responding, now I'm not really sure on whether or not you're actually being truthful here, but assuming that you are, then let bygones be bygones, and so I'll accept your words for what they are and take you up on your comments, but understand that this will never, and I mean never, go and happen again. And so as long as you understand this and understand that I will do whatever I need to do in order to protect the people that I love, then let this be a truce between us then, God of Destruction. Wait a second, and just what exactly is that in your hand right there, with Gardox then revealing, darn, and here I wanted to play one last prank on you before I went and took my leave, but I guess I'll have to be a little more sneaky next time. But fair play, Saiyan, as Pan went on to then chime in, you were gonna zap my papa with that little buzzer you showed me earlier, now were you? I used to do that on my papa all the time. Yeah, well, maybe next time I'll go and try something new on him, with Gohan then responding, one thing before you go is, what about your grudge with Lord Beerus, Gohan questions. Are you still hell-bent on getting back at him over what he said about you, or what? With Gardox then having to leap on up by responding, I still don't like that, loudmouth, but we'll go and call it even for now. You've proved your standing to me, and so for what it's worth, my issues with Beerus will be handled at a later time, Gardox went on to glance on over at Beerus by responding, now I don't know what it is that I'm looking at, but there appears to be something different about Beerus when compared to how he was shown before, Gardox went on to then add, but maybe it's just me. However, I see you looking at me from over there, Beerus, and so I want you to know that this mortal just got lucky and nothing more. Do you understand?
Aw, shut your ass up, boy. You got your cooked.
Issues, me and you, however, universe still have a score to settle, so consider this day to be a lucky one for you. And so now let's hurry it up and leave this universe at once, Vodkel. In which moments before both Angel Vodkel and God of Destruction Gardox were then shown having to head back into Universe 15 was when Gardox then went on to continue, "You have quite the potential within you, mortal, but we'll see on just how good you really are the next time I see you. But in the meantime, thank you for accepting my notions and for actually considering me to be your friend, Pan." To which, as Gardox and Vodka were then shown having to leave with Gohan, Piccolo, and Pan now shown having to stare up, was when Gohan then went on to chime in, "What a very strange but yet very sinisterly sneaky destroyer that Gardox was.
Definitely is.
But I'm glad that this is all over and done with because I never want to go and experience that ever again." And so now what were you thinking out there, Pan? Don't ever go and jump in the middle of a battle like that, Gohan went on to then respond. "You could have been seriously hurt, Pan," with Piccolo chiming in, "Relax, Gohan. You can't falter for wanting to go and help, especially since that God of Destruction was already knocked loopy after you had him pinned down and onto the ground, and so it was the right call for Pan to go and make
Beerus about to go crazy. Beerus about to go
As
off.
an annoyed Beerus then went on to respond, "All right, the three of you have some explaining to do because I was actually in the middle of something very important and you all went and ruined what I had going on with Whis. And so now you're not going anywhere until I am able to get some more answers out of you and find out about just what the heck that was all about. And so now before I go and finish what it was that I was doing, you better start talking," as it was only
Yes,
right
sir.
then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 15/Universe 16 sagas manga chapter number 12 finale then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear
All right, that was a good chapter right there, man. Shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this chapter right there. Man, there's a lot going on. Gardox got his ass whooped. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Gohan got some whooping nigga ass. I love it. You know, I love that, man. So, dang, bro. That was fire, bro. The beast form. I wonder what they're going to call the new form. What the new form will be called. And how... Oh! I think I remember that beard. I remember we saying something about having somebody for him to spar. It's probably gonna be Gohan. You know, early predictions. Anyway, like I said earlier, R.I.P. to Akira Toriyama. Great stories like this wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for him. So you know what I'm saying. So shout out to Akira Toriyama. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter right there. And then, you know what I'm saying, have a great day. You know what I'm saying. Subscribe for almost that 1K. And I know it's a long ass outro, but peace.